he don't got $20,000 portfolio, but $1 million. Let me go subscribe to him and see what information can I get from him. It's just like Anton. When Anton would get on his shows and talk about, how he's a millionaire, a lot more people are going to be tuned in because they see that's like status. And so you have that visibility, and now you're able to, give YouTubers some game and how they can be intentional and how they can follow steps as well to get those same outcomes. Anything you want to add, Shawn?
I was curious. So when did you first start investing?
So I first started investing back in 2000 and it was about 2006. But one of the key things my first investment was a Roth IRA, and this was outside of my 401k because I always invested in the 401k because that's what the company offered at the time. And that was my foundation. My foundation was the 401k, taking full advantage of the company match, because I knew my first day out of engineering school, on my very first day on the job as a new person, entry level, I knew that very first day when I left the job after working 9 hours that I needed to do something outside of that because it was too many people that was making 6 figures and they was complaining. I knew that the very first day. And so because of that, I took advantage of the company matching up to the full amount. And then I just didn't know what to do. And then that's when I got introduced to the Roth IRA. And then I started a Roth IRA with $25 a month at that time. And that was probably the biggest thing because that really set the pace for my investment journey.
So you had started with 25 a month, and obviously you increased it over the years.
That's correct.
For our listeners.
Yes.
Thinking they can become a millionaire in 14 years off $25.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. You just, you got to put something in to get something out.
Yeah.
But no, so what I done was I started with 25. I started the Roth. In that same process, I was working on getting out of debt. I had about $21,000 in debt. I had a car payment, a furniture bill with me and my mom. I had student loan. I had a student loan because I went to community college. Then I transferred on an academic scholarship, went to a university. But the community college, I did do student loans. So I paid that all off, paid the car, paid the furniture bill off. And after that, after paying off the $21,000 in debt in 2.5 years, then that's when I actually increased my Roth IRA from $25 to $150 a month.
Okay. So out of curiosity, when you said you're paying off your debt, does this have any connection to do with Dave Ramsey whatsoever, or you just wanted to pay it off yourself?
No, I didn't even know about Dave Ramsey at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So when I paid off the debt, I found out about Dave Ramsey probably about 2000, it was probably about late 2009, early 2010. But I was already had a couple of things. When I found Dave Ramsey, I just kind of restructured some of the stuff I was doing. Just following, his steps, his baby steps or whatever. So I started doing that. But then in that same process, by the time the market had changed, because 2008, the mortgage bubble hit, and then because I had already been a little bit in the financial arena, I took everything that I kind of had and put it in the market because that's when everything was on sale, on discount. But before we go, I want to make sure that people know this is not financial advice. This is for information purposes only. Okay. Please consult with your CPA, your financial planner, your tax advisor. This is for information purposes only. But with that being said, so that's kind of what I done. But that was the best thing that could have happened for me because during that same time, we had just transitioned over to 2010, and it was an IPO that went public, and I took $7,000 it was $7,000. I brought some stock on the IPO, and within a couple of years, it had went from that $7,000 had grew to about $20-some thousand. And that was like in 2 years, and then in a couple more years, it grew again. But by that time, I had got introduced to real estate. So what I done was I took the money that was in my Roth IRA, because I knew that I could use some of that money to purchase a home. So I used some of that to purchase my first home. But when I went in to make the purchase, one of the key things that I was very strategic about was making a purchase in the area one that was up and coming, but also when I go to rent it, I wanted to make positive cash flow. So that was kind of some of the foundations that I had when I actually started my journey.